Hey Nerdchachos, how you all doing? So we made it to episode 6 of Try Not to Suck at Airport CEO. We've made quite a lot of progress so far actually, so really pleased with how it's going. And the good news is there's also been an update that addresses domestic flights that go missing when you transfer to international flights. So it looks like we're going to be okay, and I've just found this new feature playing between episodes where you can see how many domestic flights are now offered in your area. So you click on your little CEO icon at the top, and it brings up where your airport is located. So I've just chosen London just for the sake of it, and there's 53 destinations within London that you can choose. But you have to be careful where you're going to locate your airport originally, because it's going to depend on, or that's going to depend on how many flights you're going to get offered. So we look good for international flights. So we can. I think we should start. We should start planning that. So in previous episodes, we had unlocked the de-icing ability, so we can start to charge planes for de-icing as they take off. We've made a massive upgrade to the general aviation side, so that we can start to make some more money off them, based on the rating improving. We've also added some facilities as well, so that we've got some shops and some restaurants going, just so we can earn some more money and start to please the passengers. And we've also made a few changes and upgrades to the transport network as well. So we're in the process then of building our new terminal. So now that we know that the international flights things should be okay, what I'd like to do in this episode is to start transferring these top gates into an international, and then slowly but surely start to filter this down, and only have a couple of internal flights. So I don't think we need to transfer everything straight away, particularly as we're going to be focusing on international flights when we look at the right hand side of the map, and we're going to start building our larger gates. So in terms of research, this is where we had left it off. So we started the process of the bigger fuel trucks, and we'd started the process of medium airports. So just in between episodes, that's now completed. So we can start some new things. So let's actually do that now. So let's take some research. We're going to have a look at the terminal floors. So that we can build on multiple floors, put 3 on there, and we're also going to start to develop baggage handling, I think. So yeah, so the catering services later. The belt loader will come after the baggage handling. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do baggage handling. 2, 5. We still got 2 people left. I'm not going to utilise them because there's going to be other things that we'll need to research later on. Okay, so we need to start our planning then of international, before we then start a much wider terminal redesign. So we're going to build a wall, and we're going to place it down this way, I think, because we're going to need to build some sort of passport control. So we bring this down here. That's fine. And then why have we got loads of people that can't find their way? Where are they going? Okay. Fine. Okay, so we built a wall. We're going to need to designate this as international. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's do this one. And let's go international zone here. I'm just going to bring this down this way, down this way. So we've still got access to these 2, but our international zone comes down here. So we're now going to need to just move the wall, rebuilding. We're going to need to put the secure zone back in. Go. wall down. Actually, let's do it down this way. No, it's too big. Let's go there. International zone. And there. Brilliant. Okay, so we're now going to need some sort of passport control. We go to the passport checkpoints. Two options that you've got: you can either have them manned, or you can have them automated. But whichever one you choose, we just have to be aware that it has to go both ways. So for now, I'm not going to bother splitting out the traffic as they arrive and as they leave. You have the ability now to split that through and have them completely separated. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say that the aircraft are going to land at a gate. It doesn't matter whether you're leaving or arriving. But we do need to remember that it needs to be both ways. So I'm going to use the automatic ones for this. And we're going to say you're going to arrive through the left-hand side, and then you're going to leave through the right-hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll leave a gap here so that we can increase or decrease as we need to. So let's connect up our boarding gates, and that should be everything we're now going to need. So let's just finish off our wall just so it's a bit more real. Just one thing to note, and that's something that we're going to need to deal with later on, is even in an international zone, they're going to still need facilities. They'll still need toilets, they'll still need shops, and they'll still need food. So what's going to happen once we open this is your passengers are going to arrive. They're going to go into your check-in area. They go through security and then they go through passport control. They don't tend to do much in the middle, which is fine. So, and our plan for this anyway is to bring our international zone slowly but surely down. So when we get the opportunity, we'll close these two stands, mark them as international, and then bring the wall across. But for now, let's just check out how the game's going to handle international flights versus domestic flights first. So we're going to need to bring our contractors back and get them to build our new elements. And we're just doing that. Let's just check on the fuel situation. Just refill, great. So these are all okay. General aviation is still looking okay. We've got plenty of money, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upgrade. I don't know if you need approach lights if it's departure only. Let's do it anyway. So that should now mean that we're going to get hopefully the maximum rating. Okay, so the other thing I do also want to do whilst we're waiting for the building is to have a look at the new fuel tankers, because I know that there's a vast upgrade when it comes to the medium ones, so we can possibly look at getting rid of the smaller ones completely, because they're £50 an hour to run, but the bigger ones are more efficient. They cost more to run, but you get better value for money. So let's get a couple of each in, just to see how they perform. The other thing I do also want to do at some point is to continue the upgrade piece with the bits of grass that we've got at the moment, just to make sure that we're keeping that consistent. That's something that I know that we haven't actually done yet. Right, okay, so we're built. Let's go ahead and get rid of our contractors again. Great, okay. I'm just going to double check all the shops, make sure that they're all still trading. So that's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine as well. Great, okay. So I think we're ready. I think we've got everything that we need. We've got check-ins. Obviously not realistic at the moment. There would be a wall there separating the two maybe, but we might need the space depending on demand. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and open the first one. Let's do this carefully. So what gate is this? 38? Stand 38. So what gets put onto 38? anything? Tomorrow is Saturday. Sunday. There's nothing scheduled yet. Do we need to do anything on the runway? No, that should just do it. Do I need to designate it with an international zone? I don't think I do. No, and we know it's working because we've got a checkpoint entry, we've got a checkpoint exit, so that's fine. So it's designated for international flights. Okay, let's just leave that to do its thing. I might be missing something, but we'll find that out later. So let's have a look at research, how we're doing over here. So floor construction's done. So we're only doing one terminal at the moment, that's fine. Let's carry on with baggage handling. We can't because we're researching that. They're the big ones. So let's go ahead and go for the subway. Let's put our people to it. Got a delay. Why are we delayed? Oh, there's one coming. It's a refueling. And have our passengers arrived? Yes, there we go. So we've got our first passengers that are arriving. Oh, that's handy. Okay. Phew, I thought that was going to be broken, but it's not. Happy days. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this one as well then. Oh, okay, that's the follow-up plane. Service round. Just the refuel again. Wonder if there's... I wonder if we should put a depot up here. Because at the moment, these vehicles, these lorries, they're coming from up at the general aviation, aren't they? So, do we put a depot here, do you think? Or should we just build a road connection? No, let's do this logically. Let's just build a road connection. It's not... We don't need... We've got space at the moment. No, we haven't. Okay, no, let's do a depot. Let's do a depot. Where are they? Structure. No. Go. And then pop it. So it's got some space either side. And let's build the road. Great. Okay, so how are we doing for money? We've got quite a bit of money coming in now. Perfect. Okay, so can we close that? Yes, we can. So this is in preparation for us to make all of the top gates international. Or do we? Because we're not scheduling many flights. No, let's do it. Let's do it. And so once this one's left, because we can't close it at the moment, so that's fine. Let's leave that one to it. So let's now change our minds. Oh, quick. There we go. So let's now change our minds completely. Get rid of the wall. We now want it in here instead. And then when that's demolished, we can designate that as an international zone as well. Okay, so it's that time again. Take a shot, get the contractors back. Perfect. So it looks like we're also needing to deal with our taxi situation. Got quite a queue going on. So let's also, whilst we've got them in, let's do something there. Some taxis. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 more I think should do. Nobody's using the parking, which is fine. Buses are okay, and we're also we're researching the subway, so that's going to also take some pressure off of the transport network too. Brilliant. Okay, so international flights. Got our wall changed. So let's extend out into secure zone. Doing international like that. Okay, so why is that now? There we go. So it's now registered and picked up that we've got an entrance and an exit point. So we can designate that international, that is international, and we can go ahead and reopen the gates. Brilliant. Okay, so looking good. We've also got our depot built, which is handy for the vehicles that we need down this side. Excellent. Okay, so time to get rid of the contractors again. Let's just check when it's delayed. I don't think there's anything bottlenecking. They're just missing a passenger, wherever that passenger may be. Okay. So we need to start thinking about how we're going to lay out our new terminal. So definitely thinking that check-in needs to be along this line here, with an extension of the footpath. And then I think we need to bring the traffic of the people a little bit like how Verona Airport does it, in one long line. So we'll take them from check-in, bring them down to the left into security, and then split security into two. One that comes down this side to the bottom gates, which is going to be our domestic flights, and then one that comes up this way to do international flights. And then we'll have these gates and probably the top 4 or 5 designated for international flights. We're going to need to start planning how we're going to do our other gates as well. So I think we should keep this one quite small, but our next terminal that we're going to build over here, we can make this much larger, and we can borrow a little bit of how Gatwick does it in sort of like a flower style, in a bit of a hub style. So we can bring some gates up here in a bit of a square and have a central area, central waiting area, but we're going to have a massive concourse of facilities. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. We're going to need a different runway as well when we start introducing medium gates, because we've got different size runways. So I think we might just go straight in with the large runway, similar layout as to how we've got this one, the general aviation setup, where you've got one arrival, one departure. We'll do the same setup, arrivals and departures, and then keep this terminal isolated and not sharing a runway. I think that's the best way of doing it. Right, okay, let's just quickly check these to make sure that they're not contract expired. Okay, so we've got one there. Let's just re-sign a contract. So we blatantly didn't hit the bonus, so we'll just sign a new random contract. You'll do. Same with the franchise here. So who have we got offering FlyGo? You'll get a turn. You're okay, and you're still okay as well. So how are we doing scheduling flights? So we've got a couple of stands. Brilliant. Okay. We've got our parking spaces here, so we've got 14 spaces. We're still getting a delay. Are you still waiting for your one passenger? No, just get rid. Send them away. They've missed their flight. It's their own fault. Okay, so I'm going to take the opportunity to do what we did last time, update the taxiway foundation here. go. So that's now just consistent. Feeling better about themselves. So we're going to need to do concrete at some point. So we'll look at that under research. Cool. Okay. So let's now have a look at the airport. Are we struggling with anything? Do we need to? We're okay for money. Do we need to buy anything extra? So de-icing trucks are fine. They're equalised. We've got enough of our fuel vehicles. It's good news. So job tasks. We're potentially running short on janitors. There we go. So let's go another couple of janitors in, shall we? Janitor, hire. We'll get 3 in, slightly larger area. Okay. So we just re-hit the million. I say we're doing well. We're playing on easy. We started with £3 million, so this was always going to be a spectacular fail if we failed early. We could have chosen hard, where you start with 50,000 or 500,000, I think it is, and go from there. And then even if we then put it in a hard location, so if we put it in Sicily, for example, you've got 0 domestic flights. You have to just rely on international flights. So you have to do all of your research within your original budgets. That would be like impossible, almost impossible to play. At least at the moment, we're having fun and almost like a sandbox experience. But still playing with money, so we know that we have to be financially aware. Cool. Okay, let's start planning out our next steps. Let's look at research. So we're done here. Right, so we've got some baggage ones that we can do. Let's go ahead with the high-speed conveyor belts. Let's go ahead with this one. We're going to need these, I think, when we start looking at the actual building of the new terminal. We should have all of the baggage stuff in place ready, so that we can just build. Cool. Okay. So whilst we're waiting for this, let's go ahead and upgrade some of our airport. There we go. So we'll do this. Make it tarmac. Great. And then we'll do the same up here. Same along here. We'll upgrade the stands as well at some point. I'm not going to do it all in one go, just because if we raise the rating slowly, then the airlines will start offering some more flights. But at the moment, we don't really have more capacity for any more flights, so it's a bit pointless. And as you can see, our international stands at the moment are being offered fewer flights than our domestic stands are. So we might not even need to bring the international flights down. Like I say, this was always going to be a bit trial and error, hit and miss as to how this is going to work. Doesn't affect the layout that we're going to use for the terminal. We can still build a flashier terminal where we start decorating and start building. But what I do want to do is start the planning process for transport down here. So let's bring in some more facilities. We don't have to build them now, but we can at least plan them and budget for them. So I'm going to put a couple of car stops in. I know that when I played this originally when this alpha was released, the car stops weren't working, so I'm not going to put too much attention on them just yet. But we definitely are going to need more bus stops. So bus stop. So let's put this in. Let's go ahead and put our, there we go, pathway in. I've just realised earlier on we've put this in the wrong place, so we're going to get rid of that one, build one there. We will also need one here, and our pathway. Great, okay. So let's now look at some more parking. So I'm thinking we bring this down maybe this way. Actually, can we fit parking in there if we do it that way? I don't think we can we? No, just no. Right, okay, so let's do it this way. Let's go 1, let's go 2, let's go 3. And just bring the road up. Oh, why is that? No, that's kind of upsetting. That's upsetting my OCD. Let's not do that. So let's do this over here instead. So we're definitely going to want another row of something. So it's 2 spaces, then a path, 2 spaces, and then a road like that. And then let's put some parking in here. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do the 3 for now. That's better. That's feeling a lot more comfortable. Because then I can put more along here at the bottom if I needed to. So let's just do some more pathway. And we definitely are going to line these ones up anyway. So we can go ahead and do that. And then let's bring public road up this way. This is probably a really awful layout, but it's fine, we can live with it as a start. So I think this is as far, go out a little bit more actually, to about there. That's probably about as far out as we're going to want to go with the first actual terminal, because we're not servicing that many passengers. It isn't that busy, so we don't need massive security halls that you'd see in huge international airports. We're going to need to save that for our bigger airport later, a bigger terminal later, should I say. So that's going. I think this should be okay for now. We can put the subway in now, actually. So we've got that, haven't we? So let's plan for that. It's going to go that way. I think it's going to need a path either side, like this, like this. Brilliant. Okay, so let's bring in our contractors and let's check our research, because that's all done. So let's do the tilt tray and let's do the tier 2 security, because that's going to give us better scanners when we're ready. So we're going to do 6 on that one. We do a maximum of 8. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let these build. Let's just do one final check of the airport, make sure that everything is still okay. So we've stopped getting our messages of things being delayed. That's good news. And our international flights are working as we expect them. And what we'll do with our bigger terminal build is start to put in baggage areas, so we can start offering some more services, get some better flights. Brilliant. And we've also got our franchises, they're all working fine. Ratings wise, we're doing alright. General aviation has increased because we've just upgraded everything to tarmac. Airlines are feeling better about their experience, so that's all good. Passengers still hate our terminal, but that's fine. We expect that. We haven't decorated this because we're going to be building it and ripping it apart anyway, so that's fine. Services will get better the more you offer anyway. Security is as you'd expect it, and overall we're doing well with scores. Okay, so we'll let these buildings finish, and then we'll wrap up the episode from there. So we made it, another number 6, done and dusted. wow, we made it to episode 7, and we haven't run this into the ground yet. It's good. It's good news. It's a good sign. So this episode we've focused mainly on international flights. We've got that working. We've got our passport control working, and we're going to finish this off and tidy it up when we come to build our bigger terminal. I think that's going to be our next bigger picture. And I think this is going to be the turning point. This is either going to be where the airport completely fails and we fall flat on our face, or it's going to be a massive success and we'll be fine. So we focus on it on there. We've also just built some more infrastructure down here, just to start the process of thinking bigger, thinking multiple terminals. And we've also just spent a little bit of time and money just to upgrade the rest of the infrastructure. We just need to do the gates once we're happy with these locations. Make sure that's all okay. So research wise, we are researching baggage security in the second tier, and we're going for the tilt trays, so that's going to be ready for our big terminal build. So I think that's a good place to leave it. So thank you so much for joining for this episode, and I will see you again soon for episode 7. See you later.